Alright, hi guys, this is Love and Info, Enrique Blasik, new sensation on YouTube. So it's just back, and I'm back with a really good subject for the day. But before anything, I want to say how excited I am to see 100 views in my last video. I don't even have 100 followers. Who's not following? But subscribers, I'm sorry. I was so excited about that. Thank you guys. It changes my mood when I see that, and a lot of people's like, oh, don't look at how many likes, don't look at how many this. Yeah, I do look at them. I don't care how many they are, but one would have made me just as happy as 100, and you can only imagine how I feel with that. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. So I've been absent for a couple of days. I want to make you guys a promise right here, right now. I'm uploading a new video every day until my birthday. My birthday is on Thursday. I'm uploading a new video every day till then, because I feel like I need more content, and I feel like the only way that I can make myself give you guys more content or upload more content is to make myself accountable for a promise, and here it is. I just promised it. Ooh, I hope that you guys like this sweater because it's hot as fuck up in this bitch. Ooh, you know what? I'm just gonna take this shit off. There we go. All right. So, I'm late, not late to work, but I'm rushing to make this video to get to work as always. I wouldn't have it any other way. There's been a lot going on lately. A lot of bad things happening in the world, a lot of good things happening to me, a lot of good things happening to a lot of people. But I've been pondering of making a video about depression, and depression is it's a hardcore thing going on right now. So before anything, I want to make you guys understand that my channel, if you're coming in here looking for instructions from a certified person of how to do something in life, then you're in the wrong channel. This is a channel of experiences, of motivation and advice. Advice and instruction are two different things. Advice only comes from experience. And I'm just here I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling my story, Cardi B. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. And I just wanted to make that clear for 1 second. Another thing is how important it is for me to talk about depression, because like I said, I was pondering whether I should or not make, I go through this a lot, whether like, do I want to make a video about this? Do I want to make a video about that? And then, sometimes I even write the whole thing down and everything, and then I'm just like, no. Because I do have a certain structure for my channel. Even though it seems like I'm all over the place all the time and stuff. I'm going to read it to you guys just so that you guys can know what the structure of Love and Info is. And that is, start and finish with the quote, at least one that you wrote. Always sing a song. Stay positive. Don't ever point the finger. And have signatures and originality. So I hope that I'm complying with my own goals and my own standards. If not, then you guys let me know. Please talk to me. Tell me what's on your mind. Any questions? Anything you want to know about me? I'm more than an open book. I'm more than an open book. I don't think that by any of my actions or words I've ever tried to perpetrate the message of me being any kind of a private person. So one of the reasons why I was so afraid of making a video about depression is because I've always known as a little kid that I was an empath, and that it was really easy for me to sync with people's negative emotions of like sadness, of anything that like brings them down in the press and the inside. I was always very good at of like engaging with those emotions, even if they're not spoken. Of digging in people and knowing how they feel. I've a lot of the times used that for my advantage, because I'm no saint. Okay, I'm no saint at all. I'm a very positive person and everything, but I'm going to explain to you guys where this change came from, and how I'm making all this last minute changes in my reinventing, because I'm looking at my redefined paper that I've wrote You know, it's like a metaphorical thing. I grew up always knowing what my advantages and powers were, and being an empath always made me feel so weak, always made me feel so vulnerable. And I was afraid of that. I was afraid of that this time around. I was like, no, I refuse, I resist. But you can't fight who you are. Don't be a salmon living your life against current just to go get laid and then die. But so I was, wondering whether I was going to make the video or not, and then all of a sudden I'm laying there down thinking about that, and then I hear a statistics commercial on the radio talking about how such big percentage of the youth was going through suicide. And hurting yourself is never the answer. Why? Because if you're going through depression, that it most likely means that it's because you are more open to a world of spirituality in which you are going to be more effective than other people just because you're going through depression. That means that you're able to feel things that other people are not. And therefore, you should and you will and you must make it through. When I first started, I've never in my life have felt depressed, and I was always one of those kids that I wanted to, that I seek kind of like, you know how there's some people that find their comfort zone in being sad, and that's because we know what pain is, we know what sadness is, so therefore there's no surprises to it, and some people have just went through so much bad things in their life that they rather stick through that than to go outside of something new because they've been hurt so much. Well, that wasn't my case. Mine was kind of the opposite. I was always such a happy kid. I've never gone through anything traumatic or anything like that I wanted to know what it was like. Little did I know that I already came with programmation for that. That I already came programmed for that. And that it was also going to come whenever its time was to come. And back at the beginning of the year, maybe a few months before, I want to say like November, December, and they want me to be really. I was thinking of how careful I had to be of me talking about this kind of subjects. But at the same time, people want real, people want raw. Well, here you go. I was doing a lot of fucking drugs then. If I talk about the drug addiction that I'm going through right now, the math drug addiction that I'm going through right now, back then it was a shit show. I mean, I was doing so much that my brain, I was using the dissociatives such as ketamine, that were taking me woohoo, you know what I mean? And it got to the point where I had a mental breakdown. I had a complete chaos in my life. And when I started to realize that these drugs were taking me too high, I cut off. I cut off, and I was in Palm Springs. I was with a friend, and I called my ex, and I was like, "Yo, drive me back to San Diego now. I need to feel in a safe environment in order for me to go through this, because right now, my subconscious and my conscience are making me hear." I was having what they call an auditive psychosis because of detox, or a detox auditive psychosis. The doctors or whoever the fuck I went to blame it on the ketamine. So this is something that I was not familiar with. I've heard that people that do drugs a lot. Hold on one second. Me dijo que venía a las 4:30 haciendo mi video.
Ya faltan 3 minutos.
I know, I'm such a fucking brat. Maybe I just feel uncomfortable talking about this around her. That's my mom, by the way. I know you saw her fucking hair going in. Anyway, so I was going through all of that, and I was having this voices inside me all the time. And these voices were judgy, because that's what you are. Your subconscious creates an outlet for you to understand what you're going through. And a lot of time I was so not associated with my own reality, that I had my subconscious tell me within voices, familiar voices, tell me what was going on, and I feel so judged all the time. And from there, it became a feeling of exposure, of unprivate living, of being put on a screen, on a screen where anybody can connect to. I felt too connected. And I came down to San Diego, and I thought everybody wanted to hurt me, and I thought everybody was looking at me, and it was a complete paranoia. I'm gonna read to you guys something that I wrote. It's called Paranoia. Paranoia. The image on the corner of your eye that you can't catch. The feeling of almost knowing. The long wandering thought of uncertainty constantly marking its territory. Those long stares and flash fast looks because you can't afford to miss that moment. To miss the hint. The hint to find your sanity that will validate the effort put on that moment. So you chase it until it either chase you or it starts fading away. So it's always feeling like you're almost about to find an answer, that you're almost about to figure out why. Why am I here? Why am I feeling this? Where is this going? You know, because insanity, not a lot of people in this world goes insane. And what sad lives they must live, those that don't. And so that for me was it was crazy. It was crazy. I was completely insane at that moment. I have lost all kinds of touch with what I call the shared psychosis of the world. That's a concept that I'll talk about later. The shared psychosis in which everybody else lives in, and how I have decided to make my own. And even then, I was still not in reality. So when I started getting in touch with the rest of my brain, I couldn't make no sense of it. And I wrote this other thing in those dark times of my own. I wish I could not hear. I wish I didn't know what I can't understand. When I was a little boy, the donut maker next door told me, "You see that muffin? He knows it's a muffin." I know, he used to make muffins too, but he was a donut maker. "You see that muffin? He knows it's a muffin, but he doesn't know nor understands nothing before being baked in the oven. What is the worth of having a gift if you don't know where and why? They say not to ponder too much on the whys and hows of most situations alike, but I could not help it. I've been waiting for a signal of extraordinary nature that would validate the lived. Is it because you know deep inside you might even though you might not understand it or not? Is it because you know deep inside, though you might understand it or not, you expect more?" So even at my worst, even at my lowest, I was like, this is not sparking enough yet. I need more. And I started becoming addicted to my own insanity because it felt right. No, I did not let that become my comfort zone for too long, because I did want to step out of it and back into this reality. And that's something that maybe I'm still going through, maybe I'm not. Am I crazy? No. Do I hear voices? No. Do I have an extra feeling within me now? Did I become better after that? Am I more powerful? Am I less powerful? There was a change. There was a very impacting change in my life after that. I've never in my life thought of a suicide. I've never in my life thought about cutting my life, about ending it, except in those moments, because I was so fucking lost. I was so fucking lost that everything I've ever wished for was coming truth in a way, and I could not handle it. But why did it came to me? Why did it happen to me? For the same reason it might be happening to any of you out there, because we have more to offer to this world. And that's just really it. It's simple. It's very simple that way. And just remember that anything you're going through is your reality, and that makes it real. You think, therefore you are, therefore it exists. And don't ever let anyone tell you other. There's a few TED Talks that I'm going to recommend. Insanity or Awaken or Spiritual Awakening was a really good one. And then once you start on that on YouTube, the rest of them will come out underneath, and you will find light, because it's just as hard as it is to have a race without a set goal. Just as hard as it is to win a race without a set goal, it's hard to get out of the dark without a light to see. And I want this video, as dark as my story was, to be that light that maybe gets you to the other side, because it's important that everybody going through this makes it, because the more of us that make it, the less looked down that it would be. And the more appreciated for ourselves that we will have. I'm going to read to you guys a poem that I've already read before, just because I feel it's important to read it right now. And then I'm going to sing a song, and then I'm going to get to work. And then I may make another video about this, because I feel like I was all over the place. This is a little spell poetry spell that I made myself in order for me to give myself some guidance out of this dark place. I'll explain it later in a second video, because I'm going to make a second video. The video tomorrow is going to be about this again, explaining a lot of the things that I've already said today. But it goes like this. My veils will fall, my will will rise, my strength will set the path to life. The phoenix rise will be mine, the peacock god will give me light. Malik Taus will walk with me and take me where I need to be, therefore mo it be. That gave me a lot of strength to read that over and over while I was going through this dark place in my life. But that's very personal to me. So maybe, you know, write something, write a prayer, write a spell, write a freaking whatever it is that you need to write for you to look at and take you out of it, you know. Where is it? Oh, well, I'm gonna read this actually. Some people are just really scared, and I don't blame him. Who will want to wake up from a dream to a nightmare? Yet it's only the strong of spirit who do. And it's up to us to create a better welcoming zone for the ones living on oblivion to wake up to give them a stepping stone that they will in which they will develop a dream while alive. Now, where the hell are you, Mr. Hemingway? Okay, so, and another thing, if you ever felt like you're being oppressed by your own conscience or subconscious, you ever feel so paranoid that anywhere you go you feel there's something or someone or anything against you, just know that if anybody is against you, that's because they fear you. And don't ever let yourself feel oppressed, because you are as invincible as your enemy's fear. And this is called, I don't know what it's called. Ok, nomás voy a leer esto ya. En 3 minutos. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pig from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods might be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstances, I made not wince nor cried aloud. Under the bleedings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond the place of worth and tears looms the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of years finds me and shall find me unafraid. Because every moment you spend in fear is a moment you spend dead, and every moment you spend not being afraid, your thoughts will live on forever. That part was by Alexander the Great. It matters not how stare the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Yeah. So this is the song. It's just to remind you guys something. I've already sang it before, so I have 2 minutes. I'm already late. I'm going to hurry up. Cloudy day, so my window, bring me stories about better ones to come. Feel the rain on me linger, Bringing thoughts of all the pretty things I've been through. And I know it's gonna be okay. And I know we can make it through. Cause I live with my head on high. I'll be alright, I'll make it through. It will be fine. Cloudy days on my window bring me stories about better ones to come. Feel the rain on me linger. We're all stars. If you don't shine like one, you're not doing your part.